Here I have an amazing monopod from iFootage by the name of the Cobra Strike 2 A150s. Pretty long name. I need to make a correction. The monopod is called the Cobra 2 Strike, not the Cobra Strike 2, which I refer to in the remainder of the video, so bear that in mind. It's called the Cobra 2 Strike. So I'm pretty sure most of you are familiar with what a monopod is, not to be confused with a selfie stick, which I still insist should not be referred to as a monopod. This is a monopod. Now, monopods are extremely simple tools. It's really just a metal stick you put your camera on. That's as simple as it gets. But what I found really impressive about this monopod and what iFootage has done with it is how they're able to innovate such a simple tool to refine it, to make it better for the end user. So I thought, well, it's just gonna be another monopod. Apparently not. So let me cut to the chase here. Now, first things first, the monopod does not come with a fluid head. You get just a stick and a mount. So this is the Komodo K5 head, also by iFootage. If you're interested in this head, do check out my review on this head. I'll cover it in a separate review. So if I take out the head, you'll see it has a standard 3/8 inch thread, and the 3/8 inch thread actually pushes away to reveal a 1/4 inch thread. It's spring loaded, so this monopod natively supports heads with both 3/8 inch threads and 1/4 inch threads, so you don't have to worry about adapters. So one of the things in my opinion that makes this monopod so unique and good and convenient is its extending mechanism, how you extend the monopod. So basically there is a handle here with a very nice rubbery grip. You just twist it anti-clockwise and then you just push the grip up or down to extend or retract the monopod. Both of these sections move simultaneously, and what that allows you to do is, if you want to extend it from minimum, which is 80 centimeters, to maximum, which is 150 centimeters, you only have to stretch your hand from about waist level to chest level. So 80 centimeters, 150 centimeters. Very convenient. Now this for me is a pretty big deal because it directly affects how long you take to change the height of your camera when it's mounted on a monopod. Plus, you don't ever have to take your hands off the monopod to readjust the height of your camera. You just twist it, move it, and then twist it back to lock it. A more traditional design would be my other monopod here. This is a Manfrotto MVM 500A monopod. So if I wanted to raise this monopod, I have to bend down because all the locks are at the bottom of the monopod. I have to bend down, release the lock, extend it, and then lock it again. Same goes if I have to retract it, I have to unlock it, move it down, bend down, lock it back again. As opposed to this is just so much faster. The monopod also comes with a very nicely padded carrying case. Unfortunately, the only problem I have with this carrying case is it will fit exactly the monopod itself. It will not fit if you have a head attached. So if you want to put the monopod in its carrying case, you're gonna have to take the head out and store that separately. I do kind of wish they made the case slightly bigger than the monopod itself so you can still fit the pod in with the head attached, and so you don't have to take out the head every single time you stow it away in its case. So the A150s is one of those monopods with one of these three-legged base things. I kind of like to call them chicken feet because that's kind of what they look like. And you can fold them away for ease of storage. And what I really like is when you do fold them away, you can kind of use it as a conventional monopod without the three-legged base. And there's this big red rubber stud, so you can still pop it on the ground firmly. It'll lock on ground, it won't slip around, and you can still use it with the base tucked away. Now, unlike the Manfrotto monopod here, which has a fluid capsule between the base and the pod, so it allows the pod to turn smoothly while the base is locked firmly onto the ground, the iFootage monopod does not have a fluid capsule. It does have a ball socket mechanism, so we can still angle the monopod around with the base firmly locked down to the ground. But if you wish to do any smooth pans, you will have to fully rely on the fluid mechanism of the head you use the monopod with. Let's talk more about the ball socket mechanism of this monopod. There is a tightening knob for the mechanism, so you have a variable adjustment of how firm it hinges against the ball socket. You can have it really tight or really loose. If you have it at the tightest setting, it basically becomes one with the pod. It always moves along with the pod. Very solid. And if you have it very loose, of course, it's very easy to pan around. So you can adjust it to how tight you're comfortable with operating it. It can also come down flat to a 90-degree angle. Again, great depending on the preferences of the operator, whether or not you want some movement in your shot or you're going for a very locked down shot with no movement, then you can tighten it and it's easier to achieve that. Now, this is a very solid monopod. Its maximum payload is 8 kilograms, so I wouldn't so much worry about overloading it because I personally haven't come across any rigs that are over 8 kilograms. I've been using my DSLRs with it, even my C100 Mark II with it, all perfectly fine without issues. If you're shooting on something that's heavier than 8 kilograms, you're most likely an industry DP and you'd probably be using very different sticks. Now, this has one last trick up its sleeve. There are two release mechanisms just below the head and just above the base. So you can release the head, release the actual pod itself, and mount your head directly to the base, and you end up with sort of a hi-hat. Now, it's really more of a tiny tripod, but this is such a bonus for getting it with this monopod, because usually something like this you probably have to buy it separately, but if you buy this monopod, you got this. So extremely useful if you want to get some shots that are really low down to the ground. You want to put your camera on it, you want to angle it slightly, but none of your tripods can go that low. Really great stuff. It just comes with the monopod. It is the monopod minus the actual pod. So this is all about the Cobra Strike 2 A150s by iFootage, a very, very well designed monopod, really convenient and very well built. It retails for $139 US. In my opinion, it's definitely worth the price point. If you're interested, also check out my review of the Komodo K5 fluid head, which is also by iFootage, and it's an amazing companion for this monopod. So that's pretty much all I have for you today. Any questions, any comments, just leave them in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.